Hello.
Hi.
We're back.
It's Tarkin.
I mean, we're here.
Han Solo.
Yeah, so we got the last match of our winners bracket, top 8.
Yes.
Which is Tarkin Yellow versus Han Red.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's see if another yellow-red hero deck takes over.
Yellow-red hero, pretty good. I really like how Han Hero plays, or Han Red plays. You get to play with all the cool stuff.
I didn't see
Black one.
Yularen.
You did not see Yularen at all?
In 3 games.
I discarded one, right?
I milled a Yularen with a Greedo shot, but
yeah.
I did not see Yularen in 3 games. And those games are so close.
In the last video.
Yeah, I was thinking, sorry, I don't let things go. I don't let things drop, okay?
You don't say. Let's roll for initiative before I look at my hand. 15.
15. 2.
Give me initiative.
You got initiative. This is a mulligan. Tarkin Yeller. Tarkin Yellow is probably my first deck that I really enjoyed playing. Like the early weeks or whatever. Yeah. It did not have a good at the time. Sabine Green was beating it up, and so but I was playing Jeddah City. It was so young, so naive back then. I didn't know what I know now. All right, I'll keep. And then I'm going to. I have to keep. But
yep.
Don't worry about it. This is. Is it you? Am I like insane?
Oh, you're welcome now. Yeah, that's like the best way to learn. And it's invaluable, and then most card games don't have a tool like Force Table. It was really good for when I was trying to learn Flesh and Blood as well. I'll play A-Wing.
Felt table, right?
Yeah.
All right, I am going to play a tie.
Take initiative.
I am going to... Now, so I can buff the TIE Fighter. Now, the thing is, you're going to get your damage in with that TIE Fighter, period. Can't stop it. I can also get some forward momentum on the ground. Actually, I think my next turn is like foregone. So we're going to buff the TIE Fighter with Tarkin. And then pass now. Tarkin's a deck that its activations, it just gives up initiative all the time. And I think it's like fine. Like it doesn't, it does not matter. It matters so much less.
Getting experience in exchange is pretty good. Yeah. So now I'm thinking, do I have to do this?
Right.
Because
otherwise,
first of all, you trade it, you take it off the board.
I take it off the board, and then this buffs and is threatening Falcons, right?
Exactly. So I think I got to take it out.
Okay.
With my first action.
All right, I'm going to play the Super Laser Tech.
Red 3. I'm Red 3 build. Red 3 maxing.
I'll take initiative.
Pass.
Red 3 is a very good card, right? It's extremely powerful. All right, so you can't ramp Han this turn, right? You're on 4 resources. Han comes out at 6. You can tap him at 5 to go to 6. So
that is correct.
Okay. I am going to attack you for 2.
I'll take you for 3.
Sure. I am going to play an ISB agent. I'm going to show you Strike True, and I'm going to shoot the Super Laser Tech. Call them cheeky plays.
Let's see. All Han. And resource.
I'm gonna play a Royal Guard.
I'm gonna play a Chewbacca.
I'm gonna use Tarkin and buff Chewbacca. I'm sorry, buff the Royal Guard.
Okay. Take initiative. I guess like if you wanted to deploy Tarkin here, you could attack Chewbacca. And then I could like, do something. But if I pass, you just take initiative. I think I'll take initiative.
Okay. I will deploy Tarkin. Tarkin will attack Chewbacca. So I take 3. Tarkin gets to buff something. The Royal Guard is a 4 or 5 already. That's enough. Chewbacca's got 2 damage on him. So I'm gonna buff the ISB agent. I don't think there's any reason to keep all of the everything like in one basket there. So all right, draw. And you lost a resource, correct?
I did.
Okay.
All right, I'll take it for 3.
Sure. We'll kill Chewbacca. It's okay, he was on another transport.
Play for a cause, I believe. 4?
Mm-hmm.
Been a while since I get a good old 4. I think I leave black 1 on top. Because I'm going to be needing that soon.
Okay, 2. Need. ISB agent is going to attack you for 2.
I'm going to use Han.
Tarkin is going to attack you for 2 and buff the Royal Guard.
Play Falcon.
The guard is going to strike true the Falcon.
Black 1's on top. I'll take initiative. I was like, if I deploy Han and attack with Han, I can take out the guard, but then black 1 resourced, and that's probably bad.
I'm going to play General Veers.
Okay.
And I'll pass. Oh, I don't think I resource anything here. I think I'm good with 6 right now.
Tiger 3. This is the most red 3 damage of all time today.
Tarkin is going to attack you for 3, and I'm going to buff the Royal Guard. It's +3 because of fears.
Yeah. I'm gonna deploy Han.
I'm going to overwhelming barrage for about a billion. We'll get the Royal Guard. This is where you psych. I put Waylay. I resource black 1 and play Waylay.
I'm a genius.
Okay, so this Royal Guard is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I count 9.
Okay. I'll play black 1. I'll draw 3 cards.
All right. The Royal Guard is going to hit you for 9.
Take initiative.
I'll play an ISB agent. This agent's going to hit you for 3. Veer's is going to hit you for 3. And I'll pass now.
I think we can move on, probably. Yeah.
God, I love this Tarkin deck is a close second. I love some green-yellow villainy. Okay, now a lot of people like their boba greens, but me, man, I love some green villain with some yellow base. Some Tarkins, Palpatine. This is fun.
That green villain, yellow base. Disabling Fang Fighter. Is that Waylay is definitely coming in.
I'm playing Star Viper Prob.
Fang Fighter always rips an experience token.
That's fine. Or actually, do I care? Do I care? You got the 7 fleets in here, yeah? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
They're in there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got the Gladiator Star Destroyers too. I forgot about the super secret tech of the Gladiator Star Destroyer.
That card is actually probably pretty underrated. That's an incredible card.
Yeah. It ends the game.
Yeah.
It's hard to remove. It does not die to take down. It conquers space, right?
It just makes for an awkward situation a lot of the time.
Being able to grant Sentinel, pretty good, pretty useful. Tarkin. God, you just get to squeak so much value out of so many cards, right? You started the game by having to attack a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Right?
My A-Wing. My poor A-Wing. Damn.
It was that or lose your A-Wing, right? Like, 3 extra damage that game. That would have been at 16.
Yeah, like...
who cares?
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Who cares? Not Tarkin. That's the snowball, right? So the difference between it's like the Palpatine is like you're like trying to delay until you can get like the game under control. Mm-hmm. And this Tarkin deck is like, okay, you're gonna have to respond to me.
To everything.
To me. Every unit is now a threat. Every single unit is bad news for you. Resource. Just gonna take initiative there?
No. Thinking about Han. Resourcing.
Thinking about Han.
Thinking about Han, yeah. I'm just gonna play R2.
I'm gonna play an ISB agent. I'm gonna do damage to R2.
I'll take initiative.
I am going to buff my ISB agent and pass. Oh Lord, what am I supposed to resource here? Is it you? Am I a maniac? That's pretty dang maniacal. Gotta be that.
Thank you for 1. keep that there.
Alright, I'm gonna play Yularen, I'll gain 1.
You were a -1. Oh, that's me, that's me. Okay. I'll, hold on. What was this? Okay, yeah. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up.
It's vomiting everywhere. I'm gonna buff my ISB agent. If you like waylay a 1-drop, I think okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bunch of actions and a bunch of resources, but still.
Play K2.
Okay. I can afford to take initiative here. Do I have to? Yeah, I'll take initiative here.
Pass.
God, feels bad for going all that damage.
3 damage.
Yeah. It's just K2. K2, dude. K2, dude.
If you have waylay, yeah. I assume that's what you're doing. Or killing him somehow.
Waylay on K2. I debated a lot of stuff there. I was doing a lot of debating.
I could just jam K2 again, like, well, here's what I'm gonna Fleet Lieutenant into Yularen.
No, he's toast.
Look at the top card. I'm gonna bottom that actually.
Alright, ISB agent is gonna take out Fleet Lieutenant.
Take initiative.
I will buff the ISB agent. I'll pass. I was just thinking about how this ISB agent is like the he's like my version of the dude from Andor. I don't know the character's name. The mole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like he's like, I'm out. What have you given up?
What have I sacrificed? Everything. Everything. Okay. The big old ISB agent you got there. I'll take a base for 1.
Sure.
Bottom.
I am going to deploy Tarkin.
On resource.
Royal Guard.
I guess the surprise strike they would trade, right? So I'll deploy Han.
Tarkin's gonna rid me of this meddlesome droid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess I'll buff the Royal Guard. Tarkin takes damage.
I'm gonna waylay the guard.
Okay. Alright, surprise strike into Han then.
Falcon.
I will take the initiative.
Attack you for 3. What a turn. And pass.
Well, we're gonna put 1 down. Guess it's this.
I pay for the Falcon with that one.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. I am going to deploy the 7th Fleet Defender.
Attack you for 3.
Oh, sorry. Tarkin's going to attack you for 2 and buff the 7th Fleet Defender.
Resource.
Is that Mace Windu I smell? I'll play the Emperor's Royal Guard. Okay.
I chop it in half.
I will take the initiative.
I'll attack your base for 5.
Yeah.
And pass. Pay for Falcon with the resource. What was sacrificed?
I'm behind currently. Guess I'll overwhelming barrage Tarkin and we'll take out Mace.
Take your base for 3.
I'm gonna Snowtrooper Lieutenant. Tarkin's going into your base for 6. I will buff the Lieutenant.
Black 1.
Any reason not? Okay, I could fight. Don't want the damage. I can take initiative here. I can kill the Falcon. I think I'd just take initiative. I'm slightly too far behind in damage for the 4 damage to matter as much.
Okay, I'll pass.
If I rip like a I don't know, I could rip a lot of stuff here. 4.
Pay for this Falcon
7.
straight cash.
7. 7. I guess I resource that. All right, Defender's going to take out Black 1.
I will not do the thing.
Okay.
I'll attack you for 3.
Okay. I'm going to attack you for 2 and buff the Snowtrooper.
I'll play fighters.
All right, I'm gonna Agent Callus the fighters.
K2.
I am going to strike true the Falcon.
Take initiative.
And then the Snow Trooper Lieutenant's going to trade with the K2, and I suppose I'll take 3 here.
Yep.
Since I have no hand. Alright, we're in the cool zone. Oh, when another unique unit is defeated, the Falcon was defeated. I actually got to draw a card with Callus.
I would not discard a card.
Okay.
That does not change my decision.
Okay.
Alright, let's do that.
Forgot about that. Callus coming through.
I'm gonna waylay the defender.
Ooh, okay, I like that. That's defensive. We like defensive plays from the aggro deck. I'm gonna play Veers.
Play red 3.
I am going to play a 7th Fleet Defender.
Play Falcon.
Okay. I'll play a Shore Trooper.
Attack you for 4.
I can hit you for just take initiative. I can hit you for 6. What?
You die to some stuff. You die to a lot of different stuff. That's why you would take initiative.
Oh yeah. I died to like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
If I take initiative, but I also need to like get damage in.
Yeah.
So I'm not actually attacking. I'm attacking for 8.
9, right? Because you do.
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
I mean, I think I have to play to win and not
Yeah.
lose. So Tarkin's gonna attack you for 3. Buff Callus. Callus is gonna attack you for 6. 7th, whichever one you attack me with, 7th Fleet kill the other one. I die a surprise strike. I die to a lot of stuff, but I mean I can't change that at this point. So draw to resource neither, I guess.
Four.
All right, I'm at 1. 7th Fleet has to kill red 3.
Chewbacca.
Chewie. Let's Vader Chewie. How about that? Okay, let's go see what we got. Let's go fishing.
Assuming this fires off.
I guess we just do volume of units. Like that.
3PO. I don't think. I'll say 2.
I get to draw a card of a Callus too.
Oh yeah. I draw a C3PO.
Alright, so Tarkin can attack you for 3. Buff Callus.
Yeah, I'm taking initiative here.
Callus attacks you for 7. Veers finishes you off.
Yep.
1 off. Ooh, was that the Yularen? That was the Yularen game, huh?
That was the Yularen.
Yularen!
Man.
Yularen.
The grumble earlier was because I resourced stuff for a cause.
Oh, okay, but it was like black one in hand. That's the only thing that I could think of.
I was leading up to a black 1 turn, and I needed the play of that turn of the 3 call. I don't remember what it was, but I think that might have been the turn with where I played K2, ramped to K2.
Yeah.
And like ramping to K2 might be a mistake because I'm pretty confident you have Waylay right.
I had strike true and waylay, okay. I was like incentivized to just take initiative and answer K2.
Right, yeah.
I forewent a lot of damage that game. I wonder if I'd just been racing you the whole time. If
you were like that was to slow me down though.
Yeah.
So, and you being so close to dead.
Yeah, right.
I don't-
It's tough to say.
Anyone, so
Yeah.
can't argue with your play
Tough
when
to say.
when there's a win.
But you can, right? You can, because like if it's
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
you
You're
know,
right. You're right.
just
You can analyze your plays.
yeah, just because you won does not mean
You played the best.
Yeah.
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 Oh, all right. These were really fun games.
Yeah, they're pretty sweaty too.
Yeah, they're pretty sweaty.
I get sweaty playing this game.
Thanks for watching, y'all.
Yeah.
We will be back Sunday.
Appreciate everybody hanging around with us tonight. Appreciate you watching this on YouTube. I can't imagine you watched all the way to the end of this video, but if you did, like and subscribe.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
So
For sure.
Star Wars Unlimited better than Magic.
I mean, that's
So-
such a loaded question.
That's like ask again in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Magic certainly has staying power, right? I mean, it's 30 years into its reign of terror.
It's tough to argue with Magic as far as the best TCG, right? Because it's just like it's the game that everyone knows. It has recognizability recognition outside of like a geek circle. Like people know what Magic is.
Yeah.
Right? So people say, you tell people you're playing a Star Wars card game, they're like, that's fucking nerdy as hell.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
You tell people, hey, I play Magic, and a lot these
They're
days
like,
people know what you're talking about.
My nephew plays Magic, or
Yeah.
or whatever. My brother plays Magic a lot, right?
Right.
But
I think Pokemon kind of moved the Overton window on card games because so many people at this point, I mean, like, people in our demographic have kids that are playing Pokemon cards, you know.
But like,
so
this is a very, very well designed card game. I personally
It's-
enjoy it more than playing Magic.
you
know.
got if you're got to be a connoisseur, right?
Yeah,
And so the thing about Magic, why it doesn't resonate with me specifically anymore is because Commander was a thing that you did for laughs, right? Like it was like, and the circle that we played Commander with, you had to. It wasn't enough to win. You had to win with some sort of panache, and
You get style points.
Commander was a way to play cards that just didn't see constructed play, right? And the natural release order of Magic, the 3-set block cycle for a long time, core sets every 2 years. The way that released, the way that stayed, meant that Standard would speed up and slow down. You had like, they would push the power level of Standard, then they'd scale it back. You know, they printed Lightning Bolt and M10. That was a big thing.
It was always fun to
out.
like get to the new standard metas every year too.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And so, right, Standard was always a jumping on point for people, right? You could always say, well, fall's rolling around, new standards, and you know, you could buy some cards, play in some drafts,
Play block format.
Block format. You know, over the years, some of them were good, some of them were bad. You know, it didn't really matter, really, right? Like block format. But once they started printing like Commander only product, they have warped the game around Commander, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact that
and they had to like push power level of cards so much to do that.
well, they had to print cards that would go directly into Modern, right? So now they've like somewhere along the way they made the decision that like, Standard doesn't really matter. Right, Standard who cares about Standard?
Yeah,
and I don't necessarily disagree with getting rid of the block format.
no,
like,
that was.
I think
that
that's
was just
fine.
like a fun thing people did.
Yeah,
It was
well,
never
no,
really
I'm saying like the block release format,
Oh,
right? Like
yeah,
three
okay.
related sets, right? Because some of the best sets were the ones that kind of flipped the block format on its head, right? Because you had Zendikar, then you had World Wake, and then you had Rise of the Eldrazi, and this is like a completely
Like
different.
those are all wildly different sets.
Yeah, and like World Wake kind of plays around with the themes that were in the Zendikar block, and you know, turns some stuff on its head. And then, but they're like Rise of Zendikar or Rise of Eldrazi is like one of the coolest draft formats of all time, right? I tend to judge Magic sets by how well they played in Limited. I really enjoy very good Limited sets. That's why
which is why this game is so great.
Yes, Ravnica Guild Pact Dissension. So that's kind of what it boils down to, right? If I'm playing with semi-random cards, right? There's forces beyond my control. I'm forced to make do with cards that are on hand. Is the game still fun, right? And the answer with Magic is usually
It depends.
yes, right? Because pack war is fun, right? Just take a pack, shuffle in a bunch of lands, and then play Pack War. That's fun. If you've ever had a chance to do that, that was like sitting around the shop. I can't tell you how many Pack Wars I've played over the years, just because.
It's a fun way to just buy products.
Somebody was going to buy like a booster pack or two anyway. They're just buying, and they're just like, okay, let's Pack War it, right? Because you're exercising your brain when it comes to like board situations. You'll end up playing cards you didn't play before. So now Star Wars Unlimited, we've played a lot of card games. You feel free to go take a look at our card game Necromancy. And I've played card games beyond what we played.
There's plenty of card games we've never played on stream, but we played IRL.
Yeah,
competitively. And
yeah,
stuff.
I can't find the City of Heroes stuff. That's like a cool card game because you could design your own hero for the card game, right? So there were the pre-made characters, but then there were like, if you want to make a hero, here are your options. And there was like a power you could mix in with like two elements and stuff like that. You could build. So there's like a handful of card games that I've played. The Warhammer 40K card game, it evolved a couple times. The old Sabretooth version, then it got re-released and stuff like that. So is it weird plan to scoop a set 2 box out of zero set 1? I don't think
you should
so.
Absolutely do that.
I think you can build decks from just set 2. Now I don't think there will be.
Well, so here's the thing.
I don't think it'll be optimally competitive.
No, but I think that if you pick up a good bit of set 2, you can build some really good set 2 meta decks that probably have very few cards from the first set that you can just pick up as singles.
Yeah. So right. I think that's an excellent point. There's actually probably some cheap cards you can scoop right now.
Like imagine all the Underworld Synergy guys, like
Jabba.
You don't have any crafty smugglers, right?
Yeah.
So you haven't bought any set 1, but that's a common that you're going to get for like 10 cents.
Yeah, and Jabba is like, the last time I checked, Jabba was just $1 or $2, but he's an Underworld card. He goes and gets tricks. He gets McClunky. McClunky bounces Jabba to go get other stuff. Jabba makes McClunky free. Like there's all this synergies and stuff like that. You can pick up some cheap stuff because like the synergies aren't there yet for some of these cards, right?
And you can build all this stuff on like Force Table and Carabast or the other online client. I can't remember the name of it, HoloNet, and play them. And you're just like, oh, I really like this deck. This is worth me picking up these X amount of singles for it to fill it out.
Right.
But I do think that with set 2, you're going to have like maybe 70% done decks with just set 2 cards. Probably,
it depends on it kind of depends on what like the Underworld synergies look like, and there's going to be stuff from set 2 that you can trade for set 1 stuff. People will be more than happy to, because I think a number of set 1 cards are probably going to take a hit. Vader has already taken a hit. Like Vader's price has come down like $20 or something in the last several weeks. Now I'm not saying go sell all your Vaders, right?
I'm saying go buy Vaders. Man.
Yeah, it's not
Vader's
a bad
still
time.
good.
Vader is like a value engine.
People are discovering that Vader might not fit in every deck that plays villain green.
No. It's the same thing with Boba. Yeah. Boba Fett, the unit, right? Like the 3-cost Boba Fett just doesn't
auto include in yellow villain.
He is an Underworld.
It's very good.
He's an Underworld card, and he probably gets better the next set, right? So, like if you play Boba on 3 and you put his armor on him on 4, you now have a 5/7 that reduces damage dealt to him by 2.
You gotta waylay that MF. Yeah, because he ain't going anywhere.
There's actually a couple things you can do to him in the next set that are nasty, but still same thing. You can calculated lethality just kill him outright and get an experience token on something, right? I think that's the fun part about the game is that the way the removal is sort of expensive in this game. However, it solves things without having to use combat, which is nice. Insane. Because that means you get to save yourself on actions, which is pretty important. And also,
almost all the removals play aroundable, which is really fun and cool. And just for like, it feels like if you hit a removal spell in an optimal situation, you feel really good about it. Right?
Yeah.
And if you get hit by that, you're like, fuck, I lost the game.
Yeah. Right. I played into it.
Yeah. If you play into a removal spell, and that's like, okay, so if they have Vanquish here, I lose the game. And they have Vanquish, and like, you did, in fact, lose the game. It's tough. It's tough to come back from situations like that.
Right. I mean, the game is very incremental. I think there's definitely new players who probably come into the game. Like if you were to sit down, it's the thing with this 2-player starters, right? Mm-hmm. Like when you play the 2-player starters versus somebody who's sitting down doesn't really have a concept of how the game works. You can't just like turn it off and not pummel the new player with the game, right? Like that's at least my experience. Is like I want the new player to know like
what's it like to play the game. Don't stand.
I don't like pulling punches when training and stuff like that. But it's one of those where it's like
you can teach lessons during that.
Yeah. It's like, okay, look, if you do that, the card waylay is in this hero deck, and if you put Vader's lightsaber on like a probe droid and I waylay you, then you're behind, right? Or I've already got a guy with a shield on him, and if you do this thing, then I can surprise strike and I get to kill your guy for free, and my guy's still on the table. There's a lot of that stuff. Or the thing about the loot deck is like it usually does better if you're slightly more aggressive, because the shields give you longevity for your guys, and you've got restore on a handful of units.
Yeah. So you start outracing.
So if you're like the unit power is like relatively equivalent.
Is Yoda in that loot deck?
It is. Yeah, there's like one copy of Yoda. There's one copy of Vader, one copy of Yoda, and I think you have to learn that like tapping out is bad, and
especially for Obi-Wan.
Yeah, because your opponent just does something, just answers it, and he moves on, right? So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. Now, we kind of meandered from there, but we
answered the question somewhere in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing about Star Wars is that we've played a lot of games. This one is extremely refreshing. The reason we played Keyforge on stream as long as we did was because of the variety of games, and I would say, somehow, with 260 cards or whatever is in this first set, we have a surprisingly large variety of games. Just the sheer number of leader base combinations. Somewhere in the stream, we were chatting about that.
And you can't really compare that to Magic. Think of this versus one Magic set.
Yeah.
How many decks can you make out of one Magic set?
Yeah.
Like 3?
And most of those
that
are like
competitive.
I mean, generally
like
those
2?
Those are kind of like designed for you anyway.
Yeah,
right? There's just cards that are better.
That's like just draft synergy things. So it's like not even really comparable.
Yeah,
I think in that form, because the Magic sets aren't really designed to make deck building expand as much as this.
Yeah, somewhere along the way.
Are.
So somewhere along the way, their design went from we're building a set, and here are all the role players in a set. I think it probably starts back with, like, say, mythic rares.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they stopped designing sets as in, like, this is this realm that you go visit, and here's some random creatures and stuff like that. And there's always been bad creatures in Magic, right? You've always had 2 4s for 4 with no other abilities or anything like that. And those are fine for limited. But in, like, Star Wars, like, the random draft filler occasionally creeps into a deck.
They find, like, the Syndicate lackeys.
The Syndicate lackeys.
And that's probably a draft bomb, to be fair.
Syndicate, yeah. All the ambush cards are particularly powerful in draft because you can kill something. And draft is a little bit less punishing to tap out.
We've seen, like, Cloud City Wing Guards, in decks. Just random stuff like that, finding spots in decks. And that will change more as, like, the set pool grows, or the card pool grows. You'll be leaning more toward, like, in aspect stuff, like, the cards that are statted with hero yellow, for instance, are going to be better than the ones that are statted for just yellow.
Yeah.
So your decks might lean more toward villainy or heroism plus color rather than your like generic.
We haven't seen any like tricolor cards, right? So they could print
tricolor
cards
would be interesting
that are like have a very specific color combination and are very powerful, but you are locked into that color combination, right? Because you could have a blue-green villain legendary that costs like 9 or whatever, right?
That'd be pretty cool.
You could have stuff like that exists, but your option to play that card is in that color combination, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, there's design space for them to mess with the game. That's one of the things that I'm optimistic about the game.
Yeah, like the design space in this game is like really I can see forever.
Yeah,
it's crazy how much design space.
Yeah,
and that's all the same thing. That's the same thing with Keyforge. Right? Keyforge has literally infinite design space.
Yeah,
probably more so than this game.
It's going to be wacky because like a lot of people are looking at Finn. Finn was spoiled in the last day or two, and Finn is a leader where a lot of people are just kind of like scratching their head. They're like, "How am I going to make this work?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be one of those things where like you could tell 6 weeks after launch, there's going to be some sort of busted Finn deck, and you're like, "These MF just keeps making shields. They're free.
Yeah,
how am I supposed to deal with this?" What we haven't seen, I think there's a villain upgrade that could be played from the discard pile, but we haven't seen a hero version of that. And
so something like that existed in
if
Hero
something
or
like that
something?
existed in Hero, then that just like Finn just turns on
Yeah,
from that.
true.
Like he gets extremely powerful. It may even be worth paying out of aspect for that, just because it's like a way to recur at late game.
True. I mean,
But
4 resources, right?
yeah, I think it just like you could play it from your discard pile. So it's like if it's in your
an action.
yeah,
Yep.
it's like if it's in your discard
Plus 1,
pile,
plus
then
2.
yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of times trading +1 +2 for a shield is a worthwhile trade because something with like a little bit of health left over just dies, and you don't want your unit to die. So but yeah.
All right, we gotta wrap it up.
All right, we're wrapping up there. Appreciate the talk, everybody.
Yeah, if you're still watching the YouTube video at this point,
yeah,
that's
good
bonus
job.
content, baby.
That's bonus content.
This is like basically a whole nother video.
Podcast mode. So
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and
So,
we'll
yeah.
be back on Sunday.
bye bye.
Goodbye.